look astern, look the weather in the lee. Blow high, blow low, and so sail we. I see a wreck to windward and a lofty ship to thee, a sailing down along the coast of High Barbary. Then hail her, O captain, he called o'er the side. Blow high, blow low, and so sail we. Oh, are you a pirate or a man of war, he cried, a sailing down along the coast of High Barbary. Oh, are you a pirate or a man of war, cried we. Blow high, blow low, and so sail we. Oh no, I'm not a pirate, but a man of war, cried he, a sailing down along the coast of High Barbary. Then back up your topsails and heave your vessel to. Blow high, blow low, and so sail we. For we have got some letters to be carried home by you, a sailing down along the coast of High Barbary. For broadside, they fought all on the main. Blow high, blow low, and so sailed we, until at last the frigate shot the pirate's mast away, a sailing down along the coast of High Barbary. With cutlass and gun, no, we fought for hours 3. Blow high, blow low, and so sailed we. Their ship it was, their coffin and their grave.
Hello everybody, and warm welcome to my channel, Tarot by Izabela. I am very happy to see you here today, and I hope you're all doing fine. Today's video will be an update video for the United Kingdom and Ireland. And to do this video, as usual, I'm going to use my crystal ball, tarot cards, oracle cards, and some dice. But before we begin, I must thank you all, you wonderful viewers, for all of your support to this channel. I'm very, very grateful. All of your comments, your sharing, your caring, your good advice, your coffees, everything that you do really helps a lot. Gives so much strength for me and inspiration to continue doing more videos. So a big thanks and a big hug to all of you. Before we begin this reading, I also need to mention that some of your viewers have sent me emails with super duper good advice how to get rid of the fake Tarot by Izabela channel, the scam channel. And I followed some of those advice and made copyright claims where I have to go through every scam video that they had put out there and claim copyright to that video. And total, almost 160 videos did that scam channel put out. And this time YouTube could not look at it. And they decided to take down the fake Tarot by Izabela. So thanks to your good advice, this fake channel, well, it's no longer there. So big thanks to you, all of you, for your marvelous advice. It really helped. And now I know if someone else will try to do the same, I know how to stop it at a very early stage. So a big thank you. Well, what about today's video? In front of me, I have the map of UK and Ireland. I will have that map when I look at those countries, in case I see something special going on in a place, then I could easily pinpoint out approximately where that could be. And why I decided for UK and Ireland at the moment is because the situation in UK, especially UK, but also in Ireland, is very, very tense. It's like a huge barrel of gunpowder, and there is a fuse that is lit and closing up to that gunpowder barrel. At any given moment, it could really explode. Yeah, a lot of things are happening in the UK at the moment, and whatever will um, play out in the UK and Ireland could affect a lot of Western countries and that are under the same dictatorship, globalist dictatorship as UK and Ireland. So that's why one of the reasons I decided for do an update reading for UK and Ireland. I will do an update reading for Australia and New Zealand after this one, and after that one for Canada. So those two readings should be out latest mid-July. Okay. Well, now I will concentrate for a few moments on my crystal ball for UK and Ireland and see what the crystal ball have to say of any specific events that may occur. And when I'm finished with the crystal ball, then I'm going to take some cards on both countries to see if they have some additional information, or maybe they just want to confirm things I may have seen in the crystal ball. And time frames are very difficult to predict on, as I say many times. So I may be given a certain time frame, but when I see something very clear, feel something very strongly, then it has a bigger possibility to occur in a certain time frame. But don't get stuck on time. Things may occur quicker or later. It all depends on the energies in action around that event. And when I see something in the crystal ball, it can be something I see, pictures, short movie clips, something I hear, feel, taste, or smell. So whatever impression I get, I will tell it further to you. So now let's start this reading for UK and Ireland. Just give me a few moments and soon we'll begin. Glasses on, and let's see if we can find something. If we go, we'll explain a little bit in a cult way. There is a huge dark spell put on those two countries. Here I saw like a very evil, dark, demon-like figure hovering over those countries. And it's well known that both countries have a lot of, can call them wizards, magicians. But being a wizard or magician doesn't automatically mean you do evil things. But those evil magicians and wizards and witches, there are a lot of them. And people on very high position are extremely good in those evil crafts. And together they have held both Ireland and UK in a very grip, strong grip of evil magic spells. And why I say this, because symbolically this so-called extremely evil demon-like energy over those countries will come up to the surface, will be exposed. And it would not surprise me that in the coming weeks, even months, people that have been engaged in extremely evil activities will be exposed. People in the government or in government office, in leadership, in all areas. And a lot of testimonies of victims that have been hushed down will also emerge. The latest happenings with Henry and now some person that cut off this part of the body of an Englishman is coming up. And I see people here in UK, especially in UK, they are boiling. They are boiling of anger. Enough is enough. We want our country back. And this demon spell over the country has been put there to blind the people, to make them afraid to protest, to make them afraid to say no. But this demon-like figure, I see it's losing its power. It's like beginning to evaporate, like smoke in the air. It's like, first moment it's dense, but then it gets thinner and thinner until it's gone. So something like that is about to happen. Unfortunately, around Edinburgh, Cardiff, Sheffield, Nottingham, even London, there will be a couple of extremely cruel cases of violence against the British population. And it seems like those acts of violence are some kind of plan to trigger the British population into violence against authorities, police, and so on, so that the government can impose lockdowns, military law, and some kind of brutal dictatorship. I recommend, because of course you cannot allow this kind of brutal crimes against your own population. When you go out on the streets to protest, don't use violence. Make this protest peaceful protest, angry but peaceful, because seems here that it is planned to crack down on the British population for protesting against being murdered and raped. The current government will dissolve, but it will link into power until the last second. And then suddenly, from one day to another, it is dissolved. But don't let them take advantage of you, of your hurt and pain, by accusing you of being kind of criminals that they allowed into the country. So that is my advice. And the same advice goes for Ireland. There will be acts of violence against young people, normal Irish people, also to provoke them. But don't fall into the trap, because Irish government and British government, they are holding hands, They are quite in, I call it, accord, they, they are friends in what they are planning to do. Yeah. They agree. Somewhere in Northern Ireland, and I'm not sure if it's north of Ireland or Northern Ireland, the north parts of Ireland, I see a white lorry driving into people and causing a lot of damage and deaths and destruction. So we are in a very turbulent times. So I can recommend the citizens, normal citizens of Ireland and UK, please look behind your back when you are out. Go in a group, be aware of your surroundings, because it seems like there will be put into action a lot of brutal crimes against its own population, just to trigger that anger and some kind of civil war situation, where the government have the excuse of hitting down on you. In both countries, I see people gathering, in meetings, in schools, in private places, a lot of people organizing for this protests. People really had enough. Um, those criminals that stand for Sharia laws, stand for discrimination of women, children, and people of other beliefs, they will not find themselves comfortable in those two countries. And it would not surprise me, before we hit the end of this year, that a lot of people with extreme fanatic beliefs will have to move out from those countries. There will be some, sorry if I'm saying so much, yeah, because I see a lot of brutal crimes, violent crimes. I also see a group of horses on a field being attacked with knives, just to trigger that anger again. And attacks on puppies and dogs. Oh my God. Uh, yeah. Remember, they want to trigger you into paying back with violence. Don't do it. It's just a way to put in some martial laws and lock down the two countries. There could be some kind of explosions in a factory that um, makes fireworks, or someone will lit fire in a factory like that, because I see a lot of fireworks, and it's not New Year or time for fireworks, and it's like boom, and those fireworks. The current leader, the Starman, he will quite soon resign, be kicked out. And after him, they will put in another clown. This clown will not last for so long, and it seems like there will be empty seats in the government for a while without any elected leader. And the clown that comes in after Stormer is even worse. Yeah. Oh my God, he's such a paid off puppet of the deep state, of the globalists. But it will be so obvious, and by that time, um, like 25 to 30% of the sleeping population in those two countries will be totally awake and will not have it at all. And what those globalists are more afraid of are peaceful protests, people saying no without violence. Because if they do something against peaceful protesters, if they meet them with violence, they will be the bad guys, not the protesters. They cannot blame them for anything. And whatever will be going on in those two countries will spread to other European countries. And will also be some kind of spark, or spark that initiate the fall of EU. Something will happen with the royalties, the so-called king. I see him like half of his body do not work. Be a stroke, could be something like half of the body is out of order. And someone that is working in the royal court, some official, will come out with very nasty secrets about the royal house of UK. What has been going on behind locked doors. With proof, not just rumors, with proof. There will be sightings of a big whale outside the coast in the northern parts. A whale that doesn't belong there. And a lot of people will like almost take boat trips to see this whale. And it's a group of whales. Let's see, like 3 whales. Family. A lot of planes will leave for Pakistan and other countries in the near future, with people returning. Yeah. Yeah. And please remember, many, not all, but many that work in the legal forces, police, and so on, they act like paid military mercenaries for the current government. So many of them don't have the heart in the right place. They follow order blindly, just like a lot of people in uniform did around 75-ish years ago in Europe with the mustache man. I see Zelensky coming to visit, and he will be really booed out. People will almost throw rotten tomatoes on him. It will take some time. I cannot say exactly how long, but both UK and Ireland will return to normal and will become clean countries. A wave of paganism will sweep over Ireland. The roots of the ancestors will awaken, and whatever claws the Catholic Church have had on the population will begin to dissolve, since the religions, the big religions of the world, are created control mechanisms to dumb down and control the population with fear of a heavenly punishment. And it's like so many will return to paganism, to nature. I see some kind of flooding here. Could be something in London. The water level will rise. Yeah, because I see houses on the water, and it's in the south. I'm not sure where. See a big bridge. Water reaches almost the top. So something with a flooding. There will be quite turbulent times for both countries, and it could even lead to that children will stay at home from school due to that turbulence. It's safer to be at home. Well, I cannot see anything more at the moment. Now let's continue to the cards. Use this. Let's begin with UK. Those wanted to come. 5 of them. Okay, let's take them. and some oracle cards. And finally, some dice. And the cards and dice for UK, they look like this. Let's see what we got here for the UK. In the tarot cards, we have the Hermit, the Moon, the Emperor, the World, and Ace of Swords. On the oracle cards, we have When Winter Thaws. Something frozen in your life, a plan, a feeling, a relationship, will begin to loosen and move. Prepare for the flow. Charles, magic. Believe in the magic of possibilities and unexpected joys. It adds wonder and excitement to life. Astrological chart with astrological signs. And a house, nurture. On the dice, we have a small plant, someone crying, big armchair, eats, and hand. Well, the people will, as I said, begin at the root level. Together, will come out from their hiding, from being hermits, to gather around and to protest against the current so-called king or leader. We have magic about the emperor. So as I said, there has been a lot of dark magic put out there from the leading class or leader class to dumb down the people. And people are suffering. We have someone crying. A lot of people stay up at night angry. And the cups are filled with anger. And the magic that has been put over those two, especially UK, will no longer have the effect as it had for centuries. It will eat the hand that made it, meaning whatever magic they have put on over the population will return to the sender and demand the price to be paid. Because every time you wish someone innocent ill, or you do any magic rituals to gain power on the cost of others, you will ultimately have to pay the price. It will return to eat you up in one way or another. And it seems like the people in the normal homes, normal people, will be able to um, take the power back over the country. And all governments will fall eventually. But before they do that, there will be a sense of that if we stand together, we will win this. We will have our country back. So please be prepared for a quite turbulent summer months for the UK. There could be a lot of, unfortunately, violent crimes that will happen to normal people. But please, you can be as angry as you want, but don't get violent because they want you to want you to become violent so they can lock you down and put the country under military, evil military law. Okay? Now, let's take some cards for Ireland. For Ireland. And some dice. This was blank. I need another one. No, I need another one. So, now. Okay. The cards and dice for Ireland, they look like this. Let's see what we got here for Ireland. In the tarot cards, we have the Devil, Eight of Cups, Ace of Cups, the Strength, and Knight of Coins. On the oracle cards we have on the dawn of a workday. The solution will come not in forced effort, but in the fresh, uncluttered mind of a Monday morning. Stick, faith, hold onto faith in yourself and your journey. It strengthens resilience and optimism. Echo Valley and the Sun. On the dice we have a tall building, a dollar sign, a cracked egg, a ruler to measure things, cheeks, car, and quickly. Well, the devil have been ruling in Ireland for a long time. But the devil is losing its force. People will recognize the evil ones, who is real evil, more clearly than before. And on a normal working day, it seems like some extremely evil people will make some move, crime in an area where locals live. Could be an area where there are tall buildings, apartment buildings, and they are paid to do this. They want to spread their evilness. And something will crack in the Irish people. They will not tolerate this anymore. There will be a lot of protests in Ireland too, but they will do it peacefully. There will be a strength in numbers. And during summertime, as I said, I saw a lorry, something to drive into a crowd of people to hurt as many as possible. All this can be avoided if it's stopped in time. But as I said, a lot of those evil events are paid for. They want people to get angry and upset because they want people to go into some kind of civil war. Remember, the strength in number and peace is much more effective than brutal retaliation. So for both countries, I will do more updates as time goes. But I thought it was important because I had that strong feeling I must do a reading for UK and Ireland because they are really planning to do some dirty, evil tricks on the population and try to warn as many as I can. Eventually, all those criminals that done those violent crimes will be behind bars and will get punished. Maybe not by current leadership, but whoever it was is recorded somewhere, and they will not go free without real severe punishment. Okay. Well, that was my reading for today for UK and Ireland. And to all of you beautiful, warm-hearted, strong patriots in those countries, stay together. Be as angry as you want, but don't use violence because they will use it against you. You will have your countries free eventually, and I don't see it will take too much, but standing together and with a big no, it's more than enough to take down those evil creatures in power. Well, that was all for today. And to all of you wonderful viewers out there, if you have liked what you have seen and heard, please don't forget to press like button, share button, and subscription button. And I want to thank you all so much for watching, and hopefully we're gonna see each other soon. Bye bye.